One of the things that we see in Battletech that is different from other war games. This is something that I see when I introduce my Warhammer 40,000 friends, a sci-fi miniature-based game, into the awesomeness of Battletech. What we see immediately in Battletech is that there really isn't this idea of a meta. A meta meaning certain units, based on the rule set, are going to be very, very efficient. And these units will get the most play. I take the best units for the rule set for the mission. We get into Battletech and we see that some of these units were some of these mechs were deliberately designed to be less than optimal. Comparing that to, say, a system like Warhammer 40,000, where a unit might start out very strong, a new unit, a new model is introduced. They want to get that out there with the FOMO. They make the stats awesome. But then at a later release and update in the rules, it gets the nerf bat. It's not as good, so you've got to buy something else. It's this cycle. But in Battletech, the core rules being locked for many, many years, you look at some machines and you're like, why would this ever be designed? Why would the game designers deliberately make this? So now you get into the narrative and realize the Star League's buying up everything that it can. The Battletech narrative is mechs sell. Once the Mackie dominated on the battlefield, everybody's trying to get into this mech game. So you have some mechs that were rushed or designed to fulfill a specific, sometimes very, very specific role, like the Vulcan or the Firestarter or Urban Mech. And then you've got some mechs that were designed to be one thing, but they never really worked out that way because it was literally a quick sell just to push out some mech with some flaws. And as we get into design quirks and things like that, we see more and more of this. So with that, a mech is still a mech, and some of these machines have great, great character, a lot of flavor, a lot of personality, and there's some machines that I play that are less than optimal, but it's kind of my thing. It's kind of the mech that I play. We see a standard mech. Most mechs follow a primary configuration, meaning this was the initial selling point, this is how it was marketed, this is what's in the brochure. But then we see variants, and this is interesting too, because the variants sometimes either correct the initial problems of the original machine, or they take the mech in a new direction that is just superior to that first configuration. So there's some machines that people will play, mech warriors will play, mech commanders that will play, that you always take the variant. An example for me, I love playing locusts. I love dropping the locust bomb, putting down 5, 8, 12 locusts for the lulls. The primary configuration of the medium laser and machine guns means for the most part, I'm only firing that medium laser. Machine guns, okay. But as soon as I switch to the variant with the 2-packs, 2 short-range missile, 2 tubes, 2x2, that has some tremendous backstabbing bite, especially combined with the medium laser, especially if I get 2, 3, or 4. A little bit pricey for the battle value, but a lot more of a focused fire, really, really direct with what it can do. We see some primary configurations of machines that are vastly superior. And then, of course, Battletech being completely customizable, there's sometimes where you will run a Franken-mech or a machine of chance. An example for that was a while ago, we were playing in a campaign. I'm running 2 Marauders. One of them got hit pretty bad, right? Took a lot of damage. So the question is, keep one up and running or kind of spread the love around and repair a little bit of both. I kept one up and running, full strength, and then the other one, the medium lasers were downgraded to small lasers. The PPCs were downgraded to large lasers. It was actually a really interesting combination. I was able to put out significantly more firepower consistently with less punch, in addition to maintaining the armor factor of it. So sometimes you'll tinker around with a machine and find something that you really, really like. Now, within that framework, turning it over to my fellow mech warriors, mech enthusiasts, and mech commanders, what mechs out there, the variant is vastly superior to the original and is almost the only way to play it.